Hi, my name's Colin Hunt. We're hiking into the green right now for a little race training, and I want to talk to you about shoulder injuries and how to prevent them. I've been racing in the green race for a long time, and I'm currently a student in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program at Western Carolina University. So let's start off by looking at a little bit of basic shoulder anatomy. First, we have the shoulder blade, it's known as the scapula, and we have the bone of the upper arm. It's called the humerus. Together, they form a ball and socket joint. But as you can see, this socket is not very deep. Really, I like to compare it to more of a basketball and a dinner plate coming together. What that does is it gives us a really big, wide range of motion here. We can move our shoulder all around, all kinds of directions, but it also makes it somewhat unstable. So we have to have some other structures here to keep that ball in the socket. First off, we have a labrum. It's kind of like the meniscus in the knee. It's a piece of cartilage that just surrounds the socket on the scapula, just making it a little bit deeper, a little bit more like a cup. Next, we have a joint capsule that actually surrounds the entire joint itself. It's made up of the same stuff that ligament is made of. And then we also have some stronger ligaments in the front, underneath, and behind. So we also have some active components to keep that shoulder in socket. And by active, I mean muscle tissue. So you've probably heard of the rotator cuff before. That's a group of 4 muscles that all come off of the shoulder blade and reach out, and they grab on to the head of the humerus and pull it on tight. They do a couple other things like actually rotate the shoulder in place, but their main job is really just to keep that thing in tight. So when we talk about exercises in the next video, I'm going to show you guys some exercises to strengthen those muscles specifically. Another thing to cover right now is the shoulder blade itself. Every house is built on a strong foundation. Well, if it's not, it's probably going to fall apart. And so just like houses, we need a strong foundation in our shoulder blade. There's some key muscles that really help this move well as we move our arm up and down. It's important for those to be strong and have good control and coordination so that this ball and socket joint stays healthy. All right, so we made it down here to gorilla. Now that we've covered some basic anatomy, I want to talk to you guys about some common shoulder injuries that happen as a result of kayaking. So everyone's heard about the shoulder dislocation. If you haven't, you might not have been paddling that long. But essentially what happens is that the arm usually comes up to about here. You have some kind of force pulling up on the elbow or pushing the elbow back, and it forces the head of the humerus forward so much that it comes out of the joint, and then you have that dislocation. So avoiding that dislocation, the main thing you want to do is keep your elbow in front of you and down. Coincidentally, this also helps avoid some of the other common injuries. So first off, we have what's known as just anterior joint laxity, or you can also call it an anterior strain of the joint capsule. That happens when you reach behind you. So if you're not using your torso enough to paddle, and you're just using your arm, you put your arm behind you, it stretches out the front of that joint capsule, the front ligaments in that shoulder. So really try to keep that arm in front of you. Next up, we have what's called biceps tendinopathy. So you have one of the tendons in your biceps actually crosses the shoulder joint and attaches the shoulder blade right there. Same thing, you put that arm behind you, it stretches out that tendon. You do that time and time again, it's going to turn into tendinopathy over time. And then last off, if we look at the back of the shoulder here, same thing, you reach behind you, and between the ball of the humerus and the socket, you can start to pinch the rotator cuff muscles that are back here. So all in all, keep that arm in front of you. If you have to reach back, use your torso to do it. Keep your elbows down. If you have to brace, elbows down, paddle out. Don't be reaching up above your head. All of this is gonna not only prevent the shoulder dislocation from happening, but it's also gonna prevent a lot of those smaller repetitive use types of injuries. So I'm gonna take a run here through gorilla. I'm gonna try to show you what I'm talking about. As I come in I'm gonna be coming off the notch, keeping my paddle low, my elbow down. I'm gonna come off the pad, going through the flume. I see a lot of people reaching up, trying to brace as they come through. Keep those elbows down, your center of gravity low. And all in all, keep that shoulder healthier, and it's gonna help you have a faster green race time. All right guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, where we covered some basic anatomy and common injuries that happen to shoulders out here on the river. Just remember to keep those elbows down and in. If you want to learn a little bit more about some exercises to strengthen your shoulder, check out video 2. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more specifics about paddling technique and how it protects the shoulder, check out video 3. Other than that, happy green race season, guys.